If you thought the last red deck profile I did was really hot, this one is super spicy. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, Mario here. Hope you guys are doing well. We just took our second locals win here at Mario's Gaming World. We have our locals on Sunday nights as well. And I decided to play a red Omnimon Wargreymon deck. And I went undefeated again. Before we go into the deck profile, I just want to talk about a couple matchups and a couple items I noticed about the deck that might help you play this deck if you want to pursue it. Prior to the locals, I was playtesting this the other night, and there were a lot of matchups where we just took the match really easily. Yellow was almost no problem. Black was no problem. Purple was really no problem now that I think about it. And the mirror match, hey, you know what? Just you gotta play smart and you're fine. The other thing I want to mention real quick is if you haven't, subscribed to the channel and turn that notification bell into smashed potatoes, definitely do it because we got more Digimon content on the way. And also don't forget to like and comment, that helps too. And let's get into this really flaming hot deck profile. Red Omnimon Wargreymon. Alright guys, here it is, 50 cards, and we're going to talk about it. For basics, for level 3s we play 14, and 12 of them are Agumon. So we play the promo Agumon, the one that gives your Greymon line plus 2000, really good during your turn. We play this 4 starter deck Agumon, the one that gives your Digimon 1000. And we play 4 Agumon Expert. The reason behind Agumon Expert is because we're playing 12 Agumons, and it can add any of them back. You can do funny shenanigans where you can get aggressive by swinging with one. It might die to a security, that's fine, but then you play one and you just bring it back to your hand and you keep going. It's a really funny circumstance, and it also helps you recover these ones for your evolution lines. Honestly, this is a fantastic card. And yeah, 12 Agumons, really good. The last 2 we played are the Biomon Promo. This is here because, sometimes you'll attack your opponent's Digimon and you'll draw a card. But this actually never came up once in all of my test games. So honestly, this could probably be something else. A cheaper alternative might be the 2-cost Biomon too when you play it. That came up sometimes, so maybe it's something to consider. But that's it for the basics. For champions, we play 12. We play 4 of the starter deck Greymon, the one that gives you security attack plus 1. We play 4 of the red set 1 Greymon. It gives your evolution line 2000. Really, really cool. Also, something really handy is it does cost 4 to play. It's actually kind of cheap. That number comes up sometimes. So just something to keep in mind. And then our last ones are just 4 blockers, because you gotta have 4 blockers at least. And that's what we do. We play 9 level 5s, ultimates. We play 4 of the Metal Greymon from the structure deck, because having your opponent have to choose between blocking and give you memory, honestly, always good all the time. And now for some expensive cards, 4 of the Secret Rare Metal Greymon, because this card wins games by itself. I swear to God. Like, 3 securities, well, it's over. Like, sure, you give your opponent 5, you lose 5 memory. It's probably your opponent's turn by that point. Honestly, do you know how many times my opponents left me with 2 memory, and they have a tamer up that says, you'd have 3 memory when your turn starts, and it's just free because they're going up 3 anyway, and you're just attacking for 3 securities. It's really, really good. And if you evolve on top of it, it gets plus 3000, the Digimon. There is nothing wrong with this card. It wins games, it ends games. I would not play less than 4. Our last one is just a Groundmon, and we play it because it's 2 to evolve. That's it. That's the only reason it's there. Great. For our Megas, we play 7. We play 4 of the Set 1 Wargreymon Red. The fact that you can Digivolve it and give it an extra security that turn is really good. And it's really, really good because of the on your turn when you flip over securities, the options don't activate. That is a really good ability. That can sometimes just guarantee you the game. If they have 1 or 2 securities left and you can swing for them, you don't have to worry about, Gaia Force or Trump Sword or any of that. No, you just, whatever, doesn't matter, and you win. Easy. And by the time you get up to Wargreymon, you probably have like 14,000 at least. You're not dying. You're checking those securities. So really good. Our other three, we're just play 3 Wargreymons from the starter deck, because this can just randomly poke for 4 securities. Really good. Nothing to say. And then we round out our Omnimon Wargreymon deck with 4 Omnimons, because Omnimon is broken. That being said, there were a few times where Omnimon is a little bit win more. More often than not, I kept it in my hand because I didn't need it. More often than not, if I played it, I didn't need to play it, and I just played it just because I wanted to get extra aggressive. It probably didn't matter. There were only a couple instances where I needed to Digivolve Omnimon and resolve it to actually get myself in a better position and win. So just keep that in mind. It wasn't actually super necessary. It's also the most expensive card in the deck, so if you want to make this a little more budget, I do have an alternative. Instead of playing like 4 Omnimons, I'd probably suggest playing 4 of the Groundramon, this thing, because it's cheap, and probably 2 Volcanic Dramons, or another one of this. 2 of these and 2 Volcanic Dramons. I have nothing really to say about this except that it's security +1, and if Rookie Rush is popular, this just destroys your opponent. So there you go. It's a cheap alternative if you don't want to afford Omnimons. It only came clutch a couple of times, and I probably would have lost those games in the time where I needed it if I didn't have it. So just keep that in mind. You might lose some games if you don't have Omnimon, and this is good budget alternative, but you know, Omnimon is tier 1 for a reason, right? So there you go. The final 4 cards in our 50 card deck are just 4 Gaia Force because it's the best security in the game. Just delete something. A lot of times I hard drew a lot of these and just activated them to get myself in a good position. Like, whatever. It costs 8, it's still good. Obviously it's better if you flip it over, but that really happened. Finally, our 5 babies. We play 4 of the structure deck Koromon, because by the time we get to Mega, you're hitting for an extra 1,000, which is always nice. And 1 Yokomon from the set 1. When attacking an opponent's Digimon, it gets +1,000. Obviously, this is just going to always give you +1,000 when you get high enough. And this does come up, so it's the 5th option. It's fine. You'd rather see these, but this is there too. Oh yeah, those are our 5 babies. And that's actually it for the entire deck profile. Now to go over just a couple lines of play. First little thing I want to mention is how big can you swing in this deck? Well, you can. This gives you 1,000 by the time you get to your 6. This keeps your Greymons at +2,000. This gives you +2,000. This gives you +3,000, and you top it off with the starter deck 1. You're swinging for 20,000 and 3 security checks with this lineup of play, which is ridiculous. Obviously, it's a little more beneficial at that point if you switch out this Greymon with the other Greymon, you know, the one that came in the starter deck, and that way you're swinging 18,000 with 4 securities. When you're getting numbers that high, like they can flip over and on their security and not even care. It's ridiculous. Just substituting a few more cards. If we go back to this Greymon and we go back to the set Greymon, you're swinging for 19,000. The securities don't activate, and you literally will not lose to any Digimon you flip over the security. You're just too strong. Too strong. And yes, this way you're only attacking for 1 security, unless you Digivolve, you're attacking for 2. And maybe you'll be attacking for 3 if you actually resolve the Greymon from the starter deck on there. You could potentially be heading for 17,000 at that point, 3 securities, and no options activate. Really freaking good. You see why I say like Omnimon isn't super necessary? Because the Wargreymons and the whole Greymon Agumon line get the job done. It's honestly brutal, it's aggressive. Just a lot of times your opponent can't do anything about it unless they waste the removal spell or an opposing Omnimon or Millenniumon. Yeah, it's aggressive, it's too good. The final note I kind of want to mention is regarding the Omnimon matchup. You know, what do you do if you're fighting Omnimons? Well, you play a lot of cards with the same name, right? You know, Wargreymon, Metal Greymon, and Wargreymon. Don't duplicate if you can control it. You know, have a Greymon and a Metal Greymon. Don't just have 2 Greymons. If you get up to 2 Metal Greymons, evolve 1. You know, even if it's not the most opportune time. It's better than losing both your Metal Greymons, because that will straight up lose you the game. I made sure that when I did play against Omnimon, you know, I always kept my names different. Everything had a different name on the field at all times, because you don't want to get blown up by Omnimon. That's the best way to play against the Omnimon deck with this deck, because you play a lot of names. Just keep that in mind. Just keep your names different. That's all. And that's it, everyone. That is the red Omnimon Wargreymon deck profile I wanted to share with you today. Yes, this is not a budget deck. This is the exact opposite of a budget deck. I think it's playing every expensive red card that matters. That being said, it is, I'm sure, tier 1, really good. If you want to just be really, really aggressive, just play this deck. It's really fun. I enjoyed it. Just take multiple securities at once. It's great. It's fun. Right? Yeah. I thank all of you for watching. On your way out, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn the notification bell on the mashed potatoes, and we'll see you at the next one. Take care.